mean, nowadays everything's through your phone. I mean, we were just talking about how I accidentally tapped a piece of paper as my phone the other day. So.
So today in this video, we're going to review one of the special things we offer here at Troy Skatewood and Partners, which is TGP Homes, and it's a product that we created together. Probably been it started a couple years ago. It kind of came out of necessity from what we found we were doing.
Yeah, I think we actually branded it 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
We've been doing it for a lot longer than that.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about why did it start, what's the benefits, who's it for, and the overall benefit. And then each week we'll kind of talk about a different story and how we were able to help somebody with this. So, you know, on the listing side, just so people have an understanding, explain kind of what our roles are together, and like when we would have a listing, what were we doing, like, and where did this come from?
Yeah, so Dan is the listing agent on the home. So it's his clients and his people that are preparing their home to sell. So my job kind of came in after Dan walked through the property, identified, updates, walls that needed change of color, fixtures that were, from 1990 that needed to kind of be brought into the 2000s. And then my job from there, once he identified those things and taught me how to identify those things, I would project manage that and bring in, our list of contractors and our list of people to help bring your home kind of in this century. Yeah,
because we really found that, obviously we do a lot of prep here and we see how much more money people get out of it. And we've really kind of turned it into a system that works. And when we started this, did you have any project management background or anything like that?
No, not at all. I just like to flip furniture. So
that was about the extent of it?
Yeah, I never had, when we started, owned a home or knew anything about construction, because it really is construction. I mean, in a sense, like I'm project managing contractors. Right. So we're not building a home, but.
Yeah. And we've done them as extensive as complete home remodel, almost rebuilds, and, really large scale jobs where we're doing permits where, we build a bathroom and a bedroom and a attic. Yeah. We flipped walls, we moved plumbing. You were running all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
So in a couple years, you've gone from never project managing in your life to being able to run large scale 6-figure construction jobs, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And not all of them are that big, but talk about like, what do you see as maybe in your mind, and I'll kind of share what I think in my mind, what's the one biggest benefit that this provides people who want to sell their house?
I mean, you get more money, more return on your investment.
Yeah.
More traction on your home, more people wanting to see it. I mean, nowadays everything's through your phone. I mean, we were just talking about how I accidentally tapped a piece of paper as my phone the other day. So like everything is going through your phone. So you want to make sure your house is as presentable as possible. Yeah. Sometimes that's not possible, but this product and you and I together help people be able to do that.
Right. Yeah. Because like what I really like about it is, a lot of people want to do these things and they know the benefit is that return on investment. They know if we put a little bit in, we're going to get a lot out. And that's one thing too, we help them identify. Like I like the fact that we help them identify what to do and what not to do. But also creating an opportunity where if you don't have that cash laying around, because sometimes people have the equity in their house, they just don't have it around to invest in the job, and that's a scary thing to do. But if 10,000 in is going to get you 30,000 out, I think everybody would do it.
All
right?
day.
Right.
All day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think also too that they, even if they do have that money, they don't necessarily know to where, like what you said, where to even start, where to begin. Like they could be going around and changing out things that are actually okay and wasting their money. Yeah. Or painting a wall that's a wall color that's actually attractive. Like some people just don't know. Right. And that's not their fault. Right. And also what their style is might not be what what we consider the style to sell, I guess. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's hard as, we're trying to match that new construction feel and those things from our staging to our preparation, because we know people pay, like when you go into Ryan or Lennar or DR, any of those, there's a reason that model is like, why isn't it just plain? Why is there no furniture? Why is it, why they decorate the things the way they did, because they know that that's going to cause people to come in and want to buy their model house.
Oh yeah.
And so that's our goal, is we're trying to make it look like those model houses without costing people money,
Exactly.
Because one of the things I like about it too, not only does it do that, it increases the value of your house, how fast it's going to sell, how easily it's going to sell, but it also reduces you having to deal with contractors. Because I think
they're a pain.
Right.
I love them. Please don't watch this.
Yeah. Well, the good ones are
Yeah.
right. Like once you find good ones and you work with it, but a lot of people, if they're not doing this on the scale that we are, we get the benefit of doing 50 construction jobs in a year. So you build relationships with contractors. You're not worried about a one-off of will they show up, will they won't. We know who the good ones are going to be. So they get the benefit of our experience with that, as opposed to like, I guess I'll start on Craigslist and I'll ask my buddy who did it, and then they don't show up or whatever.
Exactly. Like
They're
we've already vetted that out for them.
Yeah.
And, people have full-time jobs.
Right.
Like I'm lucky that this is my full-time
That's right.
job. Like I get to manage your home throughout that entire process.
Right.
So you don't have to. You're at work. You have a lockbox on there. I'm just helping all that get done while you're at work.
Right. You're not worried about if they're running 5 minutes late or what color to use for this or that. You as the homeowner don't have to pick all those things out, because, when you're moving out, one of the most common things that I hear, and I want to kind of shift to the way that we look at homes. So we were talking about this, like when you were buying a home and when I was buying a home, I think we are kind of unique in the way we look at homes, right? Like we can see through stuff.
Yeah.
Like I can walk into a house and see what it could be, what I would want it to be, and things like that. But when you see the, most, like you nailed it, on your phone, right? People are going through and making their decision right there. Mm-hmm. The average home buyer, the most home buyers that are coming in, so we have a listing and someone's going to come into our house. Are most of the people like us that like to renovate our house, that like to do projects and stuff like that?
No, or else there wouldn't be, I wouldn't have a job.
Right.
Neither would you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't have to be that way.
Right.
That's why we are who we are.
Right. Yeah. And two, a lot of people, if you don't have the time to do that, if you don't like to do it, you don't want to do it. Like most sellers that I had met with, and this kind of for me where it started in my head was, most sellers don't want to do it because they're like, well, what if I do it and they don't like it? Mm-hmm. Really what they're saying is, I don't want to do this because it's a pain in the butt. I'll let them have the pain in the butt, Yeah. The problem is that pain in the butt comes with a discount. Now it wasn't the first, like the house that you ended up buying, but the first house that we wrote an offer on. Talk about that scenario a little bit and how the negotiations went and why, we were able to get it to where we had it at that point.
Yeah. So it was actually the second house I put an offer on that needed fixing up. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, because the first one needed a lot of work too.
It was right across the street. It was right across the street, the first one.
Yeah.
And then the second one that we actually got an offer accepted, we walked in and there was tenants in there and it smelled like smoke. There was dog pee everywhere. Yeah. The carpets were just tore up.
Right.
It smelled like a couple other things.
Yeah.
Like wall colors were awful.
And you loved it.
And I loved it. Yeah. I loved it. My husband was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I love it. And he was like, okay, you have the vision. Like, we'll do it.
How did that go with the price? Like where it was to where you went under contract with it? Were you offering at that list price when we made an offer on a house that looked like that?
I can't honestly. You were my agent,
yeah,
so I can't remember, but I definitely not.
We were 20 grand under. Yeah. And we asked for concessions so that way you had cash to do that.
Yes.
So, and that had been on the market for a long time. Pictures.
Oh yeah, no one had even saw it. You were like scrolling one day on the MLS and you were like, I think that there's a house that's been on for a while, and you showed it. You drive by it every day.
Right. So. Yeah, because it was one of those, like, even just from the pictures, like, nah, like you just scroll past it. Even us, as people that have a good bit of vision, we're doing that. And that's what's happening to the average seller is you're scrolling right past their house if it does not jump off the page from a pretty standpoint.
Well, they used a Google image photo
from the
radar
from the car.
Space.
Yeah, that's right. They did, and the front picture was from the Google car.
Yeah,
that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, so no wonder. Like I would have passed by. I did pass by it. I'm sure multiple times.
Right, and that was kind of an extreme case, but in that case, that seller lost a lot of money because their home wasn't priced for its condition, and not only, even if they did compensate for the condition, the average buyers take off what I would call perceived value.
Yeah.
Because if I got to do the work, I'm not going to pay, like, so the work's going to cost me $5,000. I'm not going to agree to $5,000 less because I get the headache that comes with it.
Yeah.
So sellers see a drastic drop in sales price when this work doesn't get done because of the cost of it, because of the headache or all that. And you lose everybody who's willing to do it. You know, because even you who are willing to do it, I was willing to do it. We bought our first house that had pink and green tile and green shag carpet in the bathroom, and there's a lot of smells that came out of that house as well too. I learned
the smells is the biggest thing.
The smells are so bad.
So bad.
Yeah, I don't. No, it's too gross. But yeah, there was a couple bad things that happened to me there. But I was buying it way under market value because I needed not only to create the money to be able to do it, but I wanted an opportunity. I wanted a return for that. Mm-hmm. So the seller was giving up that return to let me gain that opportunity because they didn't want to do it or couldn't do it. And that's kind of what this product really does, is it allows people to not lose that opportunity cost as well. Not only, hey, if we're going to spend $5,000 fixing up your kitchen, we can't just reduce the sales price $5,000.
No.
We lose every buyer who isn't going to do work, can't do the work, doesn't have the money to do the work. But even as we're investing in some of these houses, you know, a buyer can pay $10,000 more for a house that needs no work because that doesn't change their payment by that much. Like, think about when you were buying, right? $10,000 of cash was a lot out of pocket.
Yep.
$10,000 in your sales price was $40 a month.
Yeah, if that.
Right, if that. Exactly, yeah. So that $10,000 makes a big difference to the buyer that they don't have to come out and do it. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what this product does, is it takes away, and you're not only now looking for people that have vision, that are willing to do work, but those people want a deal, right?
Yeah.
Like when we were looking at that house and when I bought my house, like, you got a deal on that house because of that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's most sellers don't want someone that's the buyer. They don't want me as a buyer.
Right.
Because I'm looking for a deal and I'm looking at where can I, save money on this list price because certain things aren't in this century. So, I don't think every seller that's not a seller's dream. A seller's dream is to have, multiple offers, multiple people walking through that home and picturing themselves there.
Right. And paying that higher dollar for stuff that's already done, because that's an option too, right? Like, people will pay the full price if it's done and it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we've done this, how would you say, because, in future episodes, we're going to talk kind of about some of those specific stories that we've used this and how it's helped. What have you seen in the sellers that we've worked with? Like, how have they responded to the final product? What was the process like while you were going through it?
Yeah, we're going to go into all of the different stories because, every seller has been different. Every property has been different too. It's really, I'll talk about the end goal, the end reaction first, because that's the most positive. So the end reaction is, this was so worth it. Yeah. It's beautiful. Can I stay here now?
Yeah, I know you get that one a lot too. Can you come to my next house and do it here? Right.
Yeah. They always get more money.
Yeah.
They always sell faster.
Yep.
And everyone is happy.
Yeah.
Buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
Which is good for us too. We want the buyers to be happy as well.
Right.
During the process of it all, it is uncomfortable and it is hard. But so is selling your home naturally too.
In any situation, yeah.
In any situation. So you just kind of have to pick your pain points. This is worth it. It will get you more money in the end. And everyone has been super grateful for me and for my contractors throughout the process because we do a good job and they know what they're going to get at the end of it. Yeah. So they're not managing it. So their stress level only comes from, can I pack up my stuff in time?
Get out, right? Yeah, that's the hardest thing. Yeah.
Like, they're not stressed about, oh, is this contractor going to show up? Is this painter coming? So, throughout the whole process, they're very thankful and very grateful for our product and for you and I guiding them. They have a team of people. It's not just me there too. Like, you have a construction background. Yeah. So that helps too. Like, they know I have a project manager, a listing agent who is also a contractor, And then a list of contractors that are reliable.
Right.
So
yeah, which they didn't have to go find all of them.
and they didn't have to. Yeah, they didn't have to find all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it is hard to find those people, and we'll talk about that too. It's just like vetting those people, and how that works.
And two, a lot of people, if they've moved out of the area, because and this is a big benefit too. If you've moved away, or we've worked with a lot of people, and I think one of the ways that this had started too was we worked with a lot of people that had investment properties, right? They had rentals for 10 years.
Yeah.
That was a rental and looked like a rental that they hadn't been in 10 years. And obviously there's going to come with some stuff, right? Mm-hmm. What a great product too for a vacant house where, you talked about being able to pack your stuff out and move. That's a little tougher, right? You still got to do those things. It's still somewhat stressful. But for these people that have vacant houses, home run, right?
Yeah, no brainer.
Yeah.
And that is how TGP Homes got started.
Right.
I mean, we started with all of your investor clients, and they had these renters. I mean, people would leave all of their belongings and just be gone the next day. And we kind of started with getting rid of all these people's things. Then it was paint, and then it was updating kitchens, and then it was building bathrooms, and then it was like, it started off and it just evolved into this product that is a really good service to people that have vacant homes, investment properties, or your personal home.
Right. Yeah, because it's nice too. Like, I think the benefit is a lot of homeowners, they don't know what to do, what not to do. It's kind of like sometimes you start pulling the thread of the sweater. It's like it unravels and it's all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Or you're doing the wrong thing. So it's nice, at least they have an analysis. Like, we don't do that too often, but we've had situations where we finished a basement. Like, remember that we had one townhouse up in Thurmont where we finished the basement. And it was nice to go, okay, this basement, it was a small little basement. Hey, this basement's going to cost you $10,000. But we can see from the data in sales here, it's going to sell for $30,000 more.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll front the money. You can pay us back when we're done. Sound like a plan? Like, it's great, right? So they really know they're getting that analysis in there. So that's cool. And you do a great job with those people and helping, because it is a stressful time. Moving's stressful no matter what. Like,
oh, yeah.
But
it sucks.
What's real stressful is when you have all that stress leading up to the listing, and then if your house sits on the market because people don't like the condition or the price or whatever, that's real stressful.
Yeah.
Dealing with months of that, as opposed to where our properties are selling much faster than average. Even as this market's changing, our days in market are still drastically lower. And yes, it's because of the marketing and the different things that we do, but a lot of it is our preparation, the way our homes look and the way they present. Because would you rather have somebody that you need to have walk in like you or I that goes, okay, how much can I get off of this price?
Yeah.
Or the people that just go, nope, and just scroll to the next one, or the one that everybody wants to come to the first weekend, then you're done showing the house.
Yeah. And I take all of this as all of the preparation is marketing. Like, I mean, we're creating a product that people want to buy.
Right.
And all of this preparation is great marketing for your home.
Right.
Because if we did nothing, we would have nothing to showcase leading up to.
Yeah.
We would have, true. Once your house hits the market, like think about how are you going to promote your house if it's not ready for that?
Right. And how do you want that product to look?
Yeah. And I think we talk about too, like, we've been, and we'll go through stories, but we've been speaking in kind of extremes of like renovating, adding basements and things like that. But that's not all TGP Homes is. So I don't want people to feel like overwhelmed in that, Yeah,
it's like we have to do a massive renovation.
Yeah, and it's not always that. Sometimes it's just, TGP Homes encompasses everything that we already do for listings as well, which is that staging. We call it fluffing, like coming in and moving, your books around and making it look like someone wants to live there.
Right. And we've done small scale jobs too. So these aren't just like massive renovations. We've done massive renovations. Yeah. But we've done them as small as, hey, we changed out 4 light fixtures and a faucet and we painted one room for you. We've done little stuff like that too that, when you start thinking about that's an electrical person, that's a painter, or that's me and you and YouTube, or not us doing it, but I'm saying if we were the homeowners, like me and YouTube, in the beginning or whatever. But, it's a way, like, we can do the smallest things, we can do the biggest things too. So I think that's been a real big benefit to our clients that we've been able to offer. And now our other agents are offering it as well too. And they're lucky to have you that can do that as well too, and manage all that kind of stuff for them. So
yeah.
So you really do an awesome job with that. So
thank you.
And I'm not just saying it because it's
I
your birthday.
learned from the best.
It's your birthday.
It is my birthday.
It is your birthday. Yeah.
So you can say all the nice things.
Okay, yeah. I got to get them all out today because
Yeah.
I got 364 of the days to catch up for. So
Yikes.
awesome. Well, hey, thanks for spending the time to talk about this stuff, and I'm looking forward to sharing some of those stories here in the future about others.
Yeah, I'm really
Awesome.
excited to share with you guys all of the stories that we have.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks.